How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up, what up?
Welcome, everybody, to Story of the Fight. My name's Shamil. That's my boy, Will. This is where we talk all things combat sports. Today, we're going to be talking One Fight Night 34. Eersel still on a tear with another fantastic win. We're also going to be talking UFC Vegas 108 and the possible fight of the year.
Oh,
I don't know.
Potential fight of the
versus
year?
Duncan. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of great fights that went down. But before we do, I want to remind everybody, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Shout out Combat Sports saying the boys, talking fights with the boys. That's right. But all those things, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're steadily climbing. We finally broke the 16K mark, Will. But if they don't like watching, they like listening, they got other ways, right?
Yeah, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are found. But we highly suggest watching on YouTube because you get to see clips, you get to see photos, you get to see us. And then if you want to interact or follow us on other socials, just go to storyofthefight.com. It'll list all of them: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. It's just Story of the Fight on everything. Makes it real easy. And if you're watching this live, make sure you're active in the chat, just like Combat Sports Today is. And then if you're coming to us after the fact, we'll have timestamps. If you just want to talk about one, that's later on. If you want to talk about a specific fight, timestamps down below. Click to it. But if you're live, be in the chat.
Sounds like we try to make it as easy as possible, Will.
Some would say.
Hey, by the way, recognize the OG Story of the Fight shirt, dude.
First shirt.
OG, the first shirt that was made. Also, yeah, we have merch.
Yes, storyofthefight.com. Merch is there as well.
We're so bad at this. But hey, we can go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with UFC Vegas 108. We had Tatsuro Taira versus Park going into this one. I've been excited to watch Tatsuro Taira fight again. We have a rising star amongst us, Will. And I know that Hyun Park had a fight that was scheduled later on. Who was he supposed to be fighting?
Well, Taira was supposed to fight. I think he was supposed to fight Eersel. He was on the 9th, so not too far off. And Taira was supposed to fight Albazi. They wouldn't clear, the medicals wouldn't clear him a week ago. So they're like,
a little switcheroo, different but same. And then
but different. Park
comes in, and they're like, okay, so not too much time to get ready for him, right?
Yeah.
But Blunderbow says, bro, was this less lopsided on paper? Because damn, for real. And everybody's like, look, this is a huge opportunity for Park coming in, right? He's fighting the number 6 ranked contender. Massive. So if he pulls this off, like Blunderbow said, pretty much, that's a big if, right? That could be huge for Park.
Yeah, and like you said, going into this, he was booked against Eersel, so clearly he's good, right? And if you watch his fights, he's undefeated early in his career, but he is undefeated, and he's nasty, man. Submission threat, nasty handwork to the body. He's dangerous, and they give him Eersel, and you're like, okay, this is a good test. Then they do the shakeup, and you're like, oh, this is a bigger test. No disrespect to Eersel, but we're both really, really high on Tatsuro.
We've been high on Tatsuro Taira.
Yeah, and he just had his first loss against Royval, but it was a fight of the night. So you're like, okay, like he's clearly there, right? He might have lost that fight. That was his biggest test at that point, but he's clearly there. Albazi's another one. So Park, it's got an uphill battle on this one, I would say. So I wouldn't say it was much less lopsided on paper, but it was definitely like, this is going to be, like you said, big opportunity for Park.
Big challenge.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Phil says main card wasn't bad at all. Good performances, banger fights. Yeah, it was very good. Very good.
For sure.
You guys don't follow Combat Sports Today. Come on.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What were you gonna say?
But dude, there's levels, right?
Yeah.
How quick before Tatsuro drops Park with that right?
Well, yeah, they're both kind of looking at each other. He jabs him, and then he hits him with a 2, and you almost see Park, like, it wakes him up a little bit, and he like rubs his face. Did you notice that? He like rubs his face, and he's like, I don't know. And then you're like, oh shit. But then he comes back and enters, and he's like, I'm gonna step in now. And Taira's like, nah, you're not. And fucking hits him with another 2, like right after the first one, and sits him down. And you're like, oh shit, dude, this might be a tough one.
And it was kind of weird because with that right, he catches him with the right, steps back, and then he's like, that worked. And he goes with the exact same right again.
Yeah.
And then he drops like the exact same shot twice in a row. And he drops him on that second one. And then what was it, the second round, right? Where Taira
Well, so
takes down
I do want to say that was, he gets dropped. There's like 4 minutes on the clock. Tatsuro's on him, ends up on top, ends up taking the back.
Skills.
Yeah, and very impressive work from Park. Just because we know Tatsuro is nasty on the ground, and he will grab a neck, he will get you, and he survived. And not only did he survive, he defended very well, and he did force. He was active enough off his back and things like that to allow Taira to end up taking the back and things like that. But it's because he didn't just accept the position and hold on. It's because he was working well. Tatsuro's just one step ahead on each of those transitions. So 100%. Very cool.
And then would you say that takedown in the second round was somewhat simple?
Well, so that's, yeah. So, well, I will say, so yeah, first round he drops him in pretty much the first exchange, and then takes it back, does all this for the whole round. And you're like, oh, fuck. And if you're Park going back into that second round, you're like, okay, we might have to meet this guy and trade with him. And so what does Tatsuro do? As soon as Park steps in and throws a combination, he shoots on him, center of the cage. Most of these guys,
perfect.
Most people in the UFC these days, they don't really shoot if they're in the center of the cage. They'll shoot once they're, once they back you up against the cage or get you around that perimeter line. But yeah, he shoots the takedown like immediately under the combo of Park, and then just drives him all the way back to the fence, picks him up, dumps him. I believe we have pictures of all of that. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was just craftiness from Tatsuro to crack him early, and then second round he's like, I'm not gonna even try to crack him. I'm just gonna shoot immediately because he wants to get that back. You know what I mean?
Double leg, man. Yeah, and he just finishes it all the way through, picks him up. Tatsuro Taira kind of reminded me in my prime of myself.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like that's why I was like watching him, and just a teardrop, dude, just reminding me of me in my prime. But
wait, who? Tatsuro or Park?
More like Park, bro. More like Park. Yeah, Blunderbuff saying also Evie's not feeling good, so she's sleeping in, but she says hi. Hey, shout out Evie. I was looking forward to talking to her today about the co-main event, dude. It was just a bloody mess in the octagon. So
I know.
But shout out to Evie. Hopefully she's feeling better. And then Phil saying Taira really has a flawless performance. That takedown was so easy. So I have a question for you. Question for anybody in the chat, and of course, if anybody is watching this later on down the road, you can leave your thoughts on the chat afterwards. But matchmaker, we saw somebody in the chat saying Moreno versus Taira.
Yeah, I think that's the move, dude.
I don't want.
Phil says UFC Japan Moreno versus Taira. I do, man. Give him another Brandon, because they're doing Josh Van versus. They got to be doing Pantoja versus Josh Van. Another win in a main event like this for Taira. It puts him close, but I don't think this gives him a title shot, right? But it does set him up for another big fight, which could be a title eliminator. Moreno's right there. Let's do it.
Give him
you don't think so?
France. No.
Kai France.
Yes.
Not the title shot lost. Maybe.
Give him Kai France.
That's a fun fight too.
I don't want to see this fight from Moreno, dude. Do I want to see it as a fan? Like as a MMA fan? Absolutely. Like what a phenomenal matchup. As a Brandon Moreno fan, hey, let's take it easy, huh? Let's take it easy. Let's just
think Tatsuro beats him?
Dude, Tatsuro looks so good, man. And look, the way he lost to a Royval, but it was a good fight, dude.
Fight of the night?
It was a really good fight. And I'm not saying that, Moreno wouldn't be able to handle your boy in there, I'm just saying Moreno's getting a little bit older. He's been in some wars. Let's take it easy.
Yeah. Okay. Blunderbo says he's more of a one guy. So he says we're talking about UFC, so I only just met Taira last night, and I don't remember who Moreno is.
But look,
do yourself a favor, go back and watch Figgy versus Moreno, all three of the fights. Insane.
So good. Alejandro Pantoja versus Joshua Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
winner faces Moreno.
Wait,
Moreno
sorry.
Moreno gets whoever wins between Pantoja and Joshua Van.
You want Moreno with a title shot now?
Just give it to him, dude. Just give it
You
to
don't-
him. You know what? No. Bench Van. Give Moreno a title shot right now.
I mean, he's coming off 2 wins, right? He beat Albazi and Urseg. I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm trying to find a way to make that work.
No, he's saying no. Look, I get it. Joshua Van versus Pantoja is like they already said. That's the fight, right? That's the next title fight.
It's got to
I'm
be.
just a big Brandon Moreno fan. I want to see him get one more shot at the title before he rides off into the sunset. I just don't think he's going to get that other shot at the title if he goes up against Tatsuro Taira next.
Well, yeah, maybe. And one thing that does suck is because of the way this is all shaking out, I love that Josh Van is getting a title shot. I think he deserves it. I think that's going to be a sick fight. I don't think he wins that fight.
So much fun.
Not necessarily. I would pick Pantoja in that. The fight that I really want to see in this division is Josh Van versus Moreno. I think that's such a fun fight stylistically, but they might just miss each other because of how this is all shaking out. That kind of sucks.
That would be nice.
Phil's saying Kai Kara France versus Royval 2. Look, Phil, you're asking for fresh mashups. You're saying Moreno and Taira is a fresh matchup at the top. But then you're calling for one that's not a fresh matchup.
Oh, man. Hey, shout out Official Lewis saying, how y'all doing? It's finals week, but I have no class tomorrow. Just thought I'll come in and say what's up. Hey, shout out Official Lewis.
Lewis.
And then Blunderbug
Good luck on the
has
finals,
been...
by the way.
Yeah, for real. Good luck. Also, finals right now? Summer school, maybe?
He's in Singapore, right? Lewis, you're in Singapore? I don't know how they might have different school schedules than America. Probably have better school system.
Yeah, that's true. Blender Bubba has been following us and subscribing long enough to know that Ramiro will always be matchmaking with his heart. That is 100% correct, sir. You're absolutely right.
Hey, it's all vibes, dude.
The vibes matchup. And then shout out to Austin. Good afternoon, everyone. Didn't catch the entire card yet, unfortunately, since we're on the last week of summer camp. And hey, Austin's been doing the damn thing in summer camp already for some time, huh?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Hope everyone is doing well, though, is what he says. So, yes, shout out to you also.
Yeah.
But yes, hey, anything else on the main event?
No, very good. I mean, this kind of went how I thought it would go. Story of the fight, Heart logo merch.
Rich, calling it out right now.
Rich.
Heart matchmaking.
Oh, man.
All right. We will move on to the co-main event. We had Chris Duncan versus Mateusz Rębecki. Will, what a bloody mess this fight turned into, huh?
Holy mother of God, this fight was awesome.
Jeez.
I mean, holy shit, dude. Rębecki, dude. I mean, this is one that, going into this card, you're like, ooh, this is going to be good. Both these guys are sick.
By the way, both these guys, was it out of ATT?
I know Duncan is Rębecki at ATT?
Yeah, so this is what I remember hearing, that they were both from ATT. They're both staying at the barracks, the fighters' barracks.
That's so
the
funny.
way that they're training for the fight was super awkward because they had to make sure that they were scheduling separate
Really?
times. I believe Rębecki was the one that was talking shit, saying, we know each other pretty well. That being said, I always train and spar against the tougher fighters. Duncan takes on the softer fighters in the gym, which also, if you're in the gym and you're like, hey, I spar Duncan on a regular basis, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, damn, dude.
You know what I mean? Yeah. What the? Why you taking shots at us, bro? But yeah, so that kind of made the fight a little interesting, right? They're kind of homies, but at the same time, they're talking shit. So that was fun. Early on, Duncan catches Rębecki with an elbow.
Yes.
Slices him.
Well, the first one didn't slice him. The first one put a huge knot on the top of his head to the point where they thought it was a headbutt. But even in that exchange, this is the epitome of this fight. Southpaw versus Orthodox, so the rear weapons are strong, right? Duncan steps in with a rear hand elbow, his right elbow, so his power side, right elbow, bangs Rębecki on the forehead, swells it up like crazy, but at the same time, Rębecki is throwing a right hook, a lead hand right hook, that drops Duncan at the same moment. And that is the epitome of this fight. These
It
guys
was
just
insane.
entered. And it was like, when you watch Rams, like a nature
Beyblades.
documentary. Yeah, Beyblades, Rams, where they clash, they take a couple steps back, and they like rear up, and they're like, all right, crash again.
Yeah.
It was just that over and over and over again.
It was such a fun fight, man.
Yes.
And look, even the chat's excited. Rębecki's chin is made from the gods.
Yeah.
Phil. Dude, granite chin is an understatement. I don't understand how he stayed up with some of the shots that he ate. And same for Duncan, man. Like, Duncan took some serious shots. Blunderbob saying, after this, I'm convinced you could take a bat to Rębecki and he'd ask for more. I would double check the bat afterwards and make sure that it's not damaged after.
Yeah. The right kick from Duncan throughout this fight could have been a bat. Might as well have been. The high kick and to the body. And the knee was nice too, because that sets it up, obviously. I think the reason this fight went the way it did, obviously these guys are both tough as nails, but Duncan edged it out because I think he just fought a smarter fight with more of a complete game plan. This might look like a complete sloppy banger, like they were just throwing caution to the wind, throwing at each other. But Duncan, man, I was so impressed with it. Not only his footwork, it's not like flashy footwork like your Frankie Edgar or something like that, where you're like, man, you could just watch the way he moves in there and it's beautiful. No, but just the way he was pulling, constantly pulling him in to land that the right side body kick, or the head kick, or the right straight. He was constantly just making Rębecki walk right into his open side weapons, and I think that was the difference maker in this fight. But to Rębecki's credit, the reason that the right hand that Duncan was landing the whole night, or the right elbow, he would enter the same way with it, right? But to land those weapons, you have to square up. And if you're like this, right, if you're orthodox and you want to fight behind this lead shoulder to take away the lead hook of the southpaw, if you are fighting like this and you're jabbing and your chin's tucked behind the shoulder, that right hook's coming this way and it's going to hit you in the shoulder, right? But if you're Duncan and you're constantly opening with that right straight, you have to square up to land that. So Rębecki's able to land, it opens a lane for that right hook. This punch right here, obviously this is off a knee, but the same thing applies. You're opening that shoulder, so you're no longer fighting behind it. So it was just a really cool matchup of Duncan funneling him into these rear side weapons, but then Rębecki realizing, I'm not landing my left hand as much. He did start at the end of the fight, but he picked up quick that I could land this right hook, which normally isn't that available in an open stance matchup. But because Duncan was squaring up constantly to throw that rear hand side, that right hook was like, okay, that's the move. I'm going to start throwing that right hook. And that's what he dropped him with in the first round. Briefly, but fucking cool, man.
And then Blunderbow, shout out Blunderbow, because he also points out knee was a smart read in the second half for Duncan, which, yes. And then even in that third round, it's getting closer to the end. I think there's only like a minute left. And at this point, they're both exhausted. Rębecki like starts doing that thing where he's ducking down a little bit and just throwing haymakers over trying to land something. And in one of those, Duncan just pulls Rębecki's head down and just lands a massive knee, dude, like right underneath Rębecki's right eye. And just
where he was already cut.
Yeah. So he's cut on top now. He's cut on the bottom. He's all swelling, and he still eats that knee, and he doesn't drop from it, dude. And it was a hard knee, and they're just clinched up against the fence. Look at, oh my god, look at that picture again.
Yeah, dude,
you're not watching on
prior.
YouTube, I highly suggest. It's gnarly.
Yeah, that was prior to the knee. I believe there is a picture of that knee landing though, in this slideshow, because, like you said, it was fucking nasty. There it is.
Oh man.
Oh my god, dude.
So rough. But yes, absolutely great read, like Blunderbow said. And then there's a part where Bisping was like, this is just one of those fights where like 6 years from now, you look back at this and you're just proud of the fact that you were in this fight. And Domkrin's like, yeah, it's also one of those fights that'll take years away from you, though. You know what I mean? And I was like,
he's like, these guys aren't going to be the same at the end of their careers because of this.
I loved that commentary, though, because it's the yin and yang, right? Like, that's 100% they're going to walk away from this being like, dude, we were in an absolute war. Mm-hmm. This might go down as fight of the year. But then the reality of it at the exact same time was like, dude, they both left a piece of themselves in that octagon.
Oh, yeah. And like Phil says, Duncan's face was clean until the third round, because in that third round, that's the damage that was accumulated in the third round. Rębecki did pour it on in that third round, despite being fucking bloodied and beaten. He did take it to him at the end. He did not get out of this one clean. I want to ask you, Ramiro, and people in the chat, and like you said earlier, if you're watching this later in the comments, let us know. But is this your fight of the year, or is it still Josh Van versus Royval?
Give me Josh.
It's got to be the other one, right? Yeah,
it's still for me. And look, these guys went to absolute war, but the technical fight, while it was still a war between Van and Royval, the adjustments that were made in that third round by Van, it was just such a chess match while still seeing two guys crack each other. Yeah. But it was just beautiful. It was like as cheesy as it may sound, it was like a violent dance between two guys, and over here it was just a violent clash. Yeah. The other one was a violent dance, if that makes any sense to anybody out there. But for me, still give me Royval versus Van.
Phil was a good pick. Jack Della versus Bilal might be fight of the year. Oh, yeah, that was another good one. Very technical as well. Probably more technical than even Van versus Royval. And Blair says someone has to go to jail for booking this at the Apex. There was literally the way this card went. It was like there was a fight. We'll talk about it in a bit. But I was like, oh, that's probably going to be fight of the night. And a couple fights later, then another one happens, and I'm like, oh no, that's fight of the night. And then right after that one was this one, and I was like, why are any of these fights at the Apex? Come on, get me a crowd behind these guys. These guys deserve to be like, give them all the glory, Instead, they're on UFC Vegas 108 that 10 people watched.
Phil coming through and saying Umar versus Merab was also really good.
It was. Yes. That's probably the most technical out of all of them.
Yes. All right. Well,
good year so far, huh?
So, yeah, I would say not too shabby. Yeah. Halfway through the year, a little bit past halfway.
There's some good fight of the year contenders for kind of whatever flavor you like,
Well, speaking of some good fights, man, we'll move on to the next one. We had Esteban Ribovics versus Elves Brener. Hard to recognize Elves without the bleached hair. I know they were doing that for a while.
I think it helped him. Yeah, I think it helped him because he's kind of faltered a little bit lately, right? Going into this is his third loss in a row. He got Orbai beat him. Alvarez finished him, and then this one. But it's like, okay, yeah, change something. Change the hair, and all of a sudden he's a little bit more durable. You're like, okay.
I don't know what it is. Hey, shout out Ed, and good morning. Sorry I'm late. We heard you were a little under the weather. So thank you for joining us, Miss Evie. Yeah, you missed a bloody war that we just talked about right now. So hopefully you got to see it. But yes, we had another war before that. Esteban Ribovics. What'd you think?
Yeah, this one, like I said, before the Duncan versus Rębecki fight, I was like, well, that's the fight of the night for sure. This one, I think, was a little bit different, though, for me because, like I said, the Rębecki versus Duncan fight was so insane for the damage that was landed and the continuous damage. But also, there was, like, little things that you could point to that was, like, cool. Like, Duncan was doing a lot of cool things. Rębecki was answering those things with cool techniques or the right techniques. This one was a little bit more just, like, Rock'em Sock'em robots just standing in front of each other throwing. There wasn't as much like nuance to this one, I would say. What did you think? After a while for this one, it's like some fights like this, you kind of, I'm not going to say you get like exhausted watching it, but it's kind of just like none of these guys are going down. I guess it's just the same thing over and over and over and over.
But again, I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining.
Ribovics coming in, throwing combos. His hand speed was tremendous. Every once in a while, Brener would land a jab, which would kind of stop Ribovics in his tracks. And then when he would stop him, then he'd throw a little combo himself. But then as it continued progressing, we get into the third round. I was like, oh, this is whoever throws a straight shot is going to win this exchange.
Because at the end of the second.
Hook combos.
Yeah.
One of them would throw hook combos, and one of them would come in with a straight cross or a straight and then follow up with a cross. And then that person would kind of stumble back a little bit. And then the next person will start throwing hooks. And the other person will come in with a jab and then a straight. And it's like, okay, well, that's just the name of the game right now. Whoever's throwing those straight shots is going to win the exchange. And they were taking turns on who was the one that was going to be throwing the straight shots first. It was so much fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was a great fight. Like, I'm not saying that because I'm complaining or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, there was less cool techniques or nuance to it compared to the other one. But if that fight didn't happen, this was the clear like, oh, that was a fucking another banger from Ribovics, right?
Dude,
This is his
puts
third.
it so well. He said, "Show me a fight where someone clearly lost a decision, but won hearts and minds. That's Brener for me, dude. Brenner's been in so many bangers. He's a fun fighter to watch, dude. Yeah,
and Ribovics, this is his third fight of the night in a row. like Phil's saying, why is he at the apex? You know, he has the split decision win over Zellhuber at the Sphere, which was fucking insane. That was fight of the year. And then he has a split decision loss to Hackprast. Was that where was that? Was that at the Apex? I don't think so. I think that was in like the Middle East or something, right? Nope, that was at the Apex. Jesus Christ. And then here we are again, back at the Apex. They give him fight of the night again.
King of the Apex, dude.
Dude, but why?
King of the Apex. Give him the
Imagine
title.
Going from the
Put
Sphere.
A statue of him. This right here, this picture right here, statue of him up front right now with my boy Tanyoni.
Yeah, with
Tanyoni on the side.
Statue also.
Yeah, dude, in the statue also. Why not? Because he is also the king of the Apex. But he is must-watch TV. And then Phil also saying Ribovics versus Mike Davis. Look, Phil's just trying to put Mike Davis up against everybody out there.
Yeah,
he's like, dude, hey, they're an animal. Mike Davis.
Mike Davis, I would love to see him fight more often, man. It's like every fight falls through. It sucks. He's been out. We've only gotten to see him fight a few times, and he's so good. But at a certain point,
a lot of Argentinian fighters yesterday, huh?
Yeah, there were.
How
and they showed out, huh?
They most definitely did. Let me see. One,
just
two. Oh, just two.
Yeah. Hey, but two? More than usual.
Hey, a ton of Argentinian fighters, huh? Oh, wait, two. All right. We're going to start skipping some fights for the sake of time because we're also going to cover one fight night.
Yes.
So next fight we're going to cover is Neil Magny versus Zaleski.
Yeah, dude. These old vets are getting wins, huh?
Dude, he's been doing this forever.
I think he just turned 38 today.
Happy birthday, Neil Magny.
I think today's his birthday.
Today's his actual birthday. Let me see. Let me click on it real quick.
Yeah, but you know, Magny has been there for so long, and he's just like, you know, everybody says gatekeeper, all this stuff, but man, he's fucking August 3rd. Look at that. Blunderbo says doing it for the Unks. What's it last? Dude, it's the year of the Unks, dude. It is. Because what was the last UFC event? There was a couple guys on that one too that you're just like, wait, what? How are these old dudes getting it done? No disrespect. Who was it? It was Muslim Salikov and Davey Grant back to back. I mean, come on. Come on. Yeah. Bunch of 40-year-olds out here getting wins.
Dude, something we know about Magny is that he's always been pretty durable, right?
Yes.
He's always scrappy. He always finds a way to make the fight competitive. So I figured, okay, he's going to be in this fight. We'll see how long
those guys are a little older too.
Yeah. First round, he gets controlled on the ground.
And the fence. And I thought, you know what I thought in that moment?
What?
I was like, Zaleski dos Santos, you're not going to do Neil Magny like Neil Magny does others. You're not going to beat him at his own game. No one does.
You're not going to out Neil Magny.
It's not going to happen. And then the second round starts, and you're like, it's not going to happen, man, because that pace that Neil Magny forces you to fight at, you know, I'm not saying he's perfect or one of the coolest fucking fighters in the world. I think he's I like Neil Magny, but you know, he's not a perfect fighter, but something he does excel at is pushing pace on people. And if you fight him at his pace, you better be ready for a long fucking night, dude, because he will not slow down. And if you're outworking Neil Magny up against the fence and on the ground like that, you know it's exhausting. He's going to make it exhausting to do that to him. And then the second round starts.
For the longest time, we've said Magny's a gatekeeper, right? Like, if you beat Magny, you're probably breaking into the top 15, top 10 here pretty soon. And he continues showing why. Like, he's still getting wins.
Yeah.
On his birthday. Well, the day before his birthday. Turning 38.
Dude, and we can watch this one because after Neil Magny ends up on top, it's different. Because
flans him out.
Oh, just kidding. It's the quickest video ever. Come on, UFC. What the fuck? Oh, no, here we go.
There we go.
On.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful work from Neil.
takes his back, plans his mount, starts that ground and pound, and they had to stop the fight, man. So hey, shout out Neil Magny, absolutely. And Arlo's King, is that how you pronounce it? Shout out to you, thank you for joining us. Seen Neil get cracked a few times in that first round and thought it was going to be a short night for him. Boy, was I wrong.
Dude,
again, he's durable for some reason.
Yeah,
at 38, still doing it.
That was the thing that, like we said, like, because Zaleski did take it to him that first round, and I was like, oh man, he's either going to get him out, but he's not going to get him out, and he's going to have to answer for what he just did, because he put out a lot of a lot of energy into that first round and didn't really get anything for it other than the round. But dude, Magny just has that staying power. He does. Hey,
props to Magny though. Shout out Magny. If you're watching this, Magny, we'd love to have you on the podcast. Hop on.
I'm a big fan of Magny. I always have been.
We have been. All right, we will move on. We have a couple more fights to cover before we jump into one fight night. We had Kevin pronounced Vallejos apparently versus Danny Silva. I've always thought that's Vallejos, but maybe in Argentina they do it a little different. You know what I mean?
I think they do.
Vallejos. All those Argentinian fighters from last night could tell me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Vallejos.
Yeah. Don Cruz refusing to adapt. He's Vallejos to me. The whole night.
Funny, dude. I love it.
This is a cool fight though. This was my fight of the night up until Ribovics.
And this
was the fight of the night up until
what? The pressure and speed from Silva, but then the timing and countering from Vallejos the entire night, right?
Well, for me it was just the slickness of Silva, man. This guy shoulder rolling all this shit, which is very difficult to do in MMA. Shoulder rolling, slipping, but then not capitalizing on it. He would just be like, haha, none of that landed. And you're like, yeah, but he still put out offense. You got to return with something, man.
Yeah.
Because defense doesn't score. And then what I really liked from Silva was, if someone's elusive and it's tough to hit him in the head, you bang him to the body because you can't move the body the same way. And that's what he started doing. And it opened up this big right hand. He kind of went to, in the second round, he just kept throwing that over and over again. And you're like, hey, man, you got to vary that thing up. But then he did, because then he would enter with the right straight to the body. And you see in this picture, if you go back one picture, Rich. Just one more. Perfect.
There it is.
You see Silva has the guard up for this right hand.
Yep.
But then he starts banging him to the body. And then the next time he throws it, if you go to one more picture, Rich.
Forward or backward? There it is.
Bam. Now the hands are low because he's like, oh, he's banging in my body. I got to drop my hands for this next exchange. But now he's open for the head shot. And that was nice. I liked that adaptation.
Yeah.
He adapted. Vallejos adapted.
No, I see what you're saying.
Forgot how to speak English for a second.
Hey, I appreciate everybody breaking down the pronunciation. Blunderbull saying South America put some on the yes. And then Evie, look, busting out the school right now. It's the Portuguese influence from sharing such a long border with Brazil.
Come on. I didn't know we were a bunch of learned doctors in the chat.
Hey, we're just learning every day. Yeah. I'm learned up today. But yes, we'll move on to the next fight again. We're running out of time here if we're going to cover one. So we're going to go Rinya Nakamura versus Nathan Fletcher as well. I believe Patty Batty was there to support Nathan Fletcher.
Was not
Rinya
enough.
Nakamura coming in. Tell us about the fight, Will.
Yeah, Nakamura, he's a wrestler. He's a very good wrestler. So you're like, oh, man, watch the wrestling. And he's like, but check this kick.
Wait, hey, real quick, Will.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Yeah, finish that up.
Beautiful.
Toes right to the liver?
I think it was like ball of the foot. He pulled the toes back.
Did he?
Which is more karate style, right? Instead of kicking with like the instep.
Yes, karate.
Bam. Yes, karate.
Yes.
But very cool because we talked about Duncan funneling Rębecki into his right straight and his body kick. Same thing here from Rinya. Rinya would enter and he'd hop back, enter, hop back. And this time he entered and hopped back, and Fletcher was like, I'm coming. And he's like, perfect. He walks right into that fucking kick. Shout out Ganskow.
The champ is here.
The champ is here.
This last year's prediction champ.
He says can't stay, still watching fights, so no spoilers. All right,
dang.
from now on, we're not gonna tell you guys what happened in the fights.
We're just gonna tell you how excited we were about certain things that happened, but outcome up to you guys. All right. Moment of silence, Will, for the card.
Yes, moment of silence. Also, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to who was it? Pulayev had a tough first round and then came out and fucking starch Klein with the body kick. That was sick.
Also, special shout out to Trayshawn Gore, who did not do anything.
Didn't do anything.
Jeez. Such a frustrating fight to watch. Anyway.
Yes. Oh, I fucked up the slide on this one. Just kidding. We're good. Yes, Lima withdrew. He was supposed to fight Felipe Muniz. He fell through. That fight sucked, though. Albazi was obviously supposed to fight Taira in the main event. That did not happen. Azamat Bekoyev was supposed to fight Torres Finney. Finney withdrew. That fight probably wouldn't have been that great. Francis Marshall was originally supposed to fight Bashi. He pulls out. Bashi gets Giannis, takes his back, chokes him out immediately. Probably would have been a better fight if Marshall was there. And then Bekoyev versus Belgarui?
Belgarui.
Can't talk today.
I don't know. We need some help with some pronunciations yet again. In the chat,
Yes.
hit us up. Let us know how to pronounce
Let us
that.
know how much we
All right.
it.
And also, monies. Who got extra monies, Will?
Yes, we had some good ones. We had fight of the night, obviously, Rębecki versus Duncan. And then the next bonus was also fight of the night, Brener versus Ribovics. So 2 fight of the nights. I went back and was like, how often do they do that? Obviously, 236 is the big one. They had Dustin versus Max and Kelvin versus Adesanya. Both, you got to give both those fights fight of the night. UFC 218, we had also Max versus Frankie Edgar. No, that was supposed to be Max versus Frankie. We had Cowboy Oliveira versus Yancy Medeiros, banger, and then Eddie Alvarez versus Justin Gaethje, 2 fight of the nights. UFC 162, don't pay attention to the main event when my boy got dethroned, Anderson Silva. But we had Frankie Edgar versus Oliveira, fight of the night. Cub Swanson versus Dennis Seaver, fight of the night. So it's happened a few times. Shogun got one
but
versus
it's
Hendo.
not often.
It used to happen a lot more often, and that kind of tells you about the state of matchmaking in the UFC these days. Is that these cards used to be a lot more stacked, and there used to
I
be.
wouldn't say as much matchmaking as much as UFC needs money, dude. Okay, we're going broke. We need to be careful with where our money goes. We can't be handing out fight of the night bonuses left and right, dude. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
We need UFC around for a very long time. So
Poverty organization again.
That's right. All right. Now it is time to switch over. We will be covering One Fight Night 34, Eersel versus Jarvis. Before we get going, though, I want to remind everybody, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you like talking combat sports, if you like talking about if you like talking about bare knuckle boxing sometimes, if you like talking about UFC, sometimes you like how I threw that in there, then you got to make sure you like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're steadily climbing. If you don't like watching, you like listening, you got other ways. Right, Will?
Yeah, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are found. And then follow us on social media, at Story of the Fight, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, TikTok. We're everywhere. StoryTheFight.com. One Fight Night 34.
We're on Blue Sky.
Here we are.
We're on
Forgot about Blue
Threads.
Sky.
Are we on Threads?
We're on Threads.
We're on Threads. We're on MySpace.
We're on Mastodon.
We're everywhere.
Yeah.
You look for us, you find us.
We're everywhere.
But yes, here we go. We're going to start talking with Eersel versus Jarvis. Regian Eersel. He's been on an absolute tear as of late. And then we had the guy with the most like British English name. It sounds like George Jarvis.
George Jarvis, man. And Jarvis really called for this one, man. He beat Legatron. He beat Shafi. Both 2 guys from Sitsong Penang. He beats both of them. He finished Runrawi. I think that's when Runrawi tore his MCL or something like that.
Runrawi.
Who also fought on this card.
Yep.
But gets the title shot, and everyone's like, is that too much too soon? I don't know. But sometimes you go for it.
Hey,
fuck it.
Sometimes you got to strike the iron when it's hot, Will.
Exactly, and that's what we're doing here with Jarvis. And shout out Lewis, as I can finally contribute to the conversation. But yes, Eersel, I mean, kickboxing champion. Well, I think it's vacant now, right? Is it vacant? Or did he get it back?
I think that's what they said.
Because he lost it on the scales in the Nicholas
Wants
saga.
his baby back, he said.
Yes, but you booked this man in Muay Thai with the 4-ounce gloves. Holy mother of God,
at, dude.
Yeah, real quick, let's actually look. One post the ringside footage of this one. I mean, immediately, Eersel takes charge.
That straight right, boom.
Counters the kick, straight right, sits down Jarvis. Jarvis is like, okay. Not off to a good start, and then just immediately he's back on him.
Ooh, and you know what? On that video we just watched right now, so you have Jarvis up against the ropes. He's covering pretty well up top.
Yeah.
Regan starts crashing to the body, so it makes him move out, try to circle out. Then he gets caught with that long extended right. But the best thing that could have happened to him is that he collapsed the way he did. Because if he would have fallen straight down, he would have eaten 1 or 2 knees on the way down, and he would probably still be out now.
That flying knee, dude, if that connected.
Oh, it would have been done.
Done.
But something beautiful about Eersel watching this is that he did not let Jarvis have anything without a response. Anything.
Yeah.
Even if it was a feint, Eersel was responding with something of his own really quick, whether it was a calf kick, that straight right that you saw that dropped him. But if you're Jarvis, you're like, all right, I got to throw something because I can't just sit here and wait for him the entire time. But also, if I throw something, I'm going to eat a shot guaranteed right afterward.
Yeah. And
it's a lose-lose.
You know, Eersel's so long, and he finds a home for his punches. Like when he defended against Menchkov's out there nuking everybody, and then he just gets fucking clunked. Can we go back one picture, Rich? Actually, too. This is the kick one. Sorry, where Jarvis is kicking. Perfect. This is where he went wrong. Basically, is just this. I'm not going to say it's a lazy kick or anything like that, but like you said, Eersel's not letting him have anything, right? Anything that Jarvis throws out, he's answering with something. So you can't throw this kick like this just because you know he's going to return, and he's able to return because look where he's catching this kick. It's right on the forearm, which a lot of times you'll hear people say like, bang high kicks, even if they're blocking it, it's gonna wear out their arms, things like that. And that's true to a certain extent, but especially early in the fight, you can't throw it just here. And if you watch, shout out Sylvie has a great video we've talked about it before, but with Jean-Charles Skarbowski, who people might remember as the drunk guy who shows up to school everybody on The Ultimate Fighter with George St. Pierre as a coach.
I think I just texted you about that guy not that long ago.
Yeah, and it's like a 30-minute video of Skarbowski. She's working with Skarbowski, and he's just kind of explaining nuances and stuff. And one of the things that he talks about, he's like, if you're throwing high kicks, you have to if you're throwing kicks like this, you have to either get it under the elbow and get him to the body, or if you're not going for the liver and you're not trying to kick it a little bit lower than what this picture's showing, you need to throw it higher, and you're not aiming for the head necessarily, you're not aiming for the shoulder or anything like that, you're aiming for the wrist. You want to kick them in the wrist, because if you kick them in the wrist, it's weak, and they'll absorb that impact, and you'll either knock them off balance, you'll shift them, or it'll come through and hit him in the head, right? But if you kick him and he's able to block it on the forearm like this, he's able to return right away. He can throw this same punch, which is exactly what happened. He eats it on the forearm and immediately throws the two and knocks him out.
Slapping the kick down at the same time with his left, right? So he's blocking, pairing with the left. So it just allows him to come straight with the right. Dude, he's just so good, man. All right, so question for you, Will. Question for everybody in the chat and anybody that's watching later on. If you're matchmaking for one, seeing how dominant Eersel is, who do you put him up against next?
Oh, man. Well, like Lewis says, Regian versus Chinggis is the dream, but it's a pity Chinggis doesn't want to come back. Yeah, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Elizeu is gone. He's bulked up, so you're like, oh, maybe he can go up in weight and fight Eersel. Would be so sick, but it's not going to happen, I don't think. I'm not sure who they give him, to be honest, after this one, just because, obviously they're not going to do like the Sinsummit fight or anything like that. But
so do you all see? And when I say all, I mean you, the listeners, everybody. How long do you see Eersel hanging on to this title?
Dude, in Muay Thai, I don't know, man. I don't know who beats him in these 4-ounce gloves, dude. In kickboxing, obviously, we've seen him lose, but and we have in Muay Thai as well. But at this point of his game, he's just so fucking good. And I think they'll probably do kickboxing next. They can't just leave that belt vacant, I would imagine. Austin says, how far apart in weight and size are Haggerty and Eersel? Dumb question, I know. No, it's hard to keep track of, right? It's a big difference, though. He's a lot bigger than Haggerty. But
what is it, 25 pounds?
Well, it's different over there. But he's a welterweight champ. But that's like 155, I think.
Oh. Either way, though,
pounds?
Pretty big weight difference, huh?
Yeah, he fights at 170, but it's not really like because one is different, right? With the weight cuts. But Haggerty's down at like it's like we're talking like 40 pounds.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's not gonna happen. But
maybe the Haggerty brothers versus Eersel.
Both of them.
Both of them at the same time.
Get both Haggertys in there. Look, Eersel is just one of those guys. Watching this fight, his varied offense of just overwhelming you with different techniques and different angles, it really reminded me of like prime John Jones striking. I mean, much better, obviously, I would say, but just the ability to just throw from the hip and throw these things that are like you don't know what's coming. You're overwhelmed by these different approaches. It's just what can you do? And then all of a sudden you're throwing a lazy body kick, and then you're getting fucking rocked. I wish they didn't have that falling out with Menchikov, because that would be the fight to make. The rematch with Menchikov, I think, is sick, but it's not going to happen.
Austin says he wouldn't be opposed to like a mixed rules bout like Mighty Mouse did. Him versus Christian Lee would be money. Blunderbub saying the problem is that no one else is doing small gloves Muay Thai with fighters of this caliber. You'd have to recruit lightweight kickboxers and give them that fight a few fights first.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So from the sounds of it, from what you're saying and what we're talking about in the chat, y'all think he's gonna have this title for a long time?
Yeah, I don't see somebody beating him, especially in Muay Thai.
All right. Well,
so
phenomenal performance. Also saw videos of George Jarvis walking out of the ring afterwards, and tough. It looked rough. It's very rough. He needed some help getting out, but he took some massive shots.
And I do like Jarvis, and I do think, this obviously in hindsight, and we kind of knew going into this was a tough ask, right? This is a big, huge test for Jarvis, but like you said, you got to strike while the iron's hot, get him the title shot. He got it. At this point in his career, this isn't the worst thing, I don't think. I think this is good experience for Jarvis. I think he's only like 25 or something like that. So I mean, this is a loss that he can learn from. There's things that he can correct. He now just saw somebody who is fucking elite, and that you can elevate from that. So I think we'll be good for Jarvis moving forward. I'd like to see him bounce back from this one after some time off.
Age and date of birth not available. Oh, you usually only see that with like Cuban and Dominican fighters.
Yeah, well, are you looking at Tapology?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tapology doesn't have stuff on one fighters.
All right.
Yes, 25 years old. Blunderop says criminally under promoted champ. Eersel's, he's so cool, man, with the fucking immortal mask when he walks out, and he's out there just starching people. And when he doesn't starch them, those fights with Nicholas in kickboxing, oh my god, dude, they're so good.
Blunderbub saying one of my biggest criticisms of one is that Eersel should be their banner champ.
Ooh, he's so cool, man.
He is.
He's so
All
cool.
Right. We'll move on to I was going to say the co-main. It wasn't the co-main, but we're going to start skipping fights for the sake of time. Shamil Gasanov versus Garry Tonon. Garry Tonon coming in 9-1 to this fight. Shamil Gasanov was coming in 15-1 into the fight. So both of them with only one loss on their record, Will.
Yes, and the loss that Gasanov has is a submission loss to Garry Tonon. They fought years ago, and Garry Tonon subbed him. Garry Tonon coming back, I think it's been like a year and a half since he's fought and won. They had a little bit of a falling out. Then he comes back, and you're like, oh, shit, Garry Tonon booked? Let's go. And I think maybe this card was kind of pieced together based off the canceled event that was supposed to happen in Denver. That was supposed to be this event, basically. So there's some fights on here that were booked for that. That ended up being moved when that got rescheduled. So I think Garry Tonon, they were like, hey man, we'll bring you back.
Still salty that we're not getting an event.
I know. Garry Tonon's sporting some new hair. Can we go back to the face-off picture really quick, Rich?
They
The
look
only
like
thing
bros.
separating these guys is the mustache.
Yeah.
It's a mirror match, but one of them has a mustache. But Gary Tonon always comes in looking different, right? He's an eccentric dude. But he meant business in this one. And I thought, I'll be honest, I thought he won this fight.
So did I.
Okay.
So did
thought he
I.
won.
I thought maybe I was crazy. Maybe I wasn't seeing something. Look, there was a lot of
obviously
clenching, a lot of body
scored
locks.
as a whole.
Yes.
Right? They scored as a whole, not round by round.
A lot of body locks. There were some takedowns from Gary Tonon. But my question, Will, is what did he do while having him in those body locks? Did he do enough after taking him down? And did the judges at that point say, hey, well, when they were standing and Gary Tonon was trying to, have his awkward entries moving in, great head movement, by the way, as he's closing the distance. Gasanov was throwing more shots.
Yes.
Gasanov, whenever they would break from that body lock, Gasanov would land 1 or 2 shots. So maybe he just didn't do enough while in that.
I think
that clinch.
Yeah, and I think it was just maybe the impact of the strikes from Gasanov edged it here, because Austin says, "I don't give a fuck. This is a stupid decision. Gary controlled the pace the entire time. Almost finished him a few times. Look, he was entering, right? Gasanov was timing him on those entries, but I thought Gary did more like effective. I mean, this is very subjective. This type of fight is very subjective.
Yes.
Because, yeah, Gasanov probably had more impact on the strikes, and that's the most damaging thing, right? There was no, like you said,
And if you go scoring by round, Will, I think Tonon takes it. If you go
do
scoring by round.
yes,
But
definitely.
if you just go overall fight, like who beat who up more?
If that's the question, right? Who got beat up more? I think, yeah, maybe you do Tonon.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just so,
But I will say, dude, some of the techniques that Gary Tonon was hitting, dude, he lunges in with like a double right hook, almost as a casting punch right hook to get a hand around the collar, and then goes right into a Victor roll. And I'm like, you're not gonna Victor roll fucking Gasanov. But then, and Gasanov stopped it, but then he stays with the leg and uses that to end up on top and end the round on top. And
yeah,
I was like,
that was
holy
nuts.
shit,
As
that was
he's
cool.
still holding his leg.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
again, Will, finish on top, right? Where was he? Could have tried to land a couple shots while on top. And look, I also think Gasanov. I mean, Gary Tonon won.
but
I'm
you
just
can
trying to see
why.
it from the eye of the judges, and like what you just mentioned right now is beautiful technique. But if I'm a judge and I'm watching that, effective fighting. But if you watch an entire round and you saw Gasanov land a couple shots upon Tonon's entry, when they're breaking from the clinch, when I don't know. I mean,
it was a good fight.
Both sides.
Yeah, it was a good fight. And Tonon hits like a sick ass crab ride from back body lock to take him down into the back. Like he was doing really cool shit in this fight. But like you said, he had him like almost in a neck crank at one point. Nothing too crazy. Never really in danger of a submission, and not a ton of damage from top or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know.
Anytime Tonon takes your back, you're in danger of a submission. But to your point, like
yes,
it didn't seem like he was like really, really close to putting him out.
True. No, definitely. And Genevieve says also, where are all the other refs? The boss is taking every fight again. Yeah, he was.
We only need one. And does he ever take time to pee? Maybe. Whoever said he doesn't wear a diaper while he's in there.
Whoa, dude, what do we do? You went there, damn.
I'm just saying, dude. I've heard some people do that at concerts to not lose their spot. Maybe the boss does that in the ring to not have to. I don't know where I'm going with this.
That's crazy.
We'll move on. We'll move on. All right. How many fights do we have left? We have.
Yeah, so we're gonna skip my boy Ben Tynan. Shout out Ben. Ben's a real one. Lost the fight. Not the best fight. Long layoff, obviously, for reasons. Grashenko might be getting a title shot next, depending on who wins.
We're talking about the heavyweights now, though.
Yes.
We're talking heavyweights now.
Also, shout out to Elbek Alashov. That dude's fucking a monster. We're just not going to cover the fight, but cool arm triangle. But we are going to cover Ryugo Takeuchi versus Kang Ji-won. Oh my God.
Such a fun fight. When they started going Takeuchi, I was like, man, he reminds me of me with the T-Rex arms. Like, his reach does not look very good. And I was like, if he gets in a slugging match with Kang, it might be a rough go for him. But
and then what did they do?
They got into a slugging match. But man, Kang did not use his reach. He didn't fight in his distance. He kept on coming in close, allowing Takeuchi to throw those short, short and for multiple reasons, because they were nice and tight, but also short arms. Those short hooks, and Kang ate like 5 of those before finally going down. Takeuchi hops on top of him, starts with the ground and pound. The boss says, hey, I'm pissed off right now. I haven't gone to the bathroom in a while. I've been holding it in for hours. You're not allowed to hit the back of the head with those hammer fists.
Shout out to the boss, man, because I thought he called the fight, and I was like, oh, that's a bad stoppage. Herb Dean wouldn't have stopped that fight. But then he's like, no, it's back of the head. But then he's about to start the fight again. You're like, wait, hold on. Give him a second. So they give him a second, and they show it. Bro, those hammer fists to the back of the head were brutal. And Mitch was like, oh, the second one was legal. The third one wasn't. No, the last 2 were pretty blatant back of the head shots. And I get it. He's shooting in, he's hurt, so you're fucking trying to finish it. But I just like seeing the fight stop for something like that. Here's one of the shots. I think this was the first shot that was legal. To the ear. Yeah, and then the next 2 were pretty bad. But
they look good to me.
I like that he stopped it, because a lot of times you can just get away with back of the head shots throughout a fight. They're not going to stop it, and they're so damaging. But then they start the fight again, and he just they go right back to where they started, swinging and banging, and
he just slowed down the inevitable. Like it was going to happen. After this, he turned around and was like, "Were those to the back of the head, Olivier?" I don't think so. Straight to the nose, dude. And you have here it is, Superman punch. Ooh, nice counter left by Kang. Right on that one, but then he just hits left hooks, dude. Right hook, left hook, right hook, left hook. That one drops him. Couple hammer fists right to the top of the forehead and then to the nose. That was it, man. That was enough.
That's what heavyweight MMA should look like. Give me that every goddamn time.
Every time. I'll take it. All right.
Yeah. Austin says he loves Kang Ji-won. Hate seeing him lose, but God, his fight IQ is just not the best, and I feel like he never evolves from his previous appearances. I really like him too. He went for it, and he got into a firefight, and he came up short. It happens.
Takeuchi,
though, watch out for that guy.
Dude, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I had fun watching that one. All right, couple fights left. Next fight we're going to cover is Suakim. Sorry, Suakim versus Sayik.
Yes, Suakim's fucking nasty, man. I believe he just got the contract too off of Friday Fights. This is his first time on a fight night. He had 1, 2, 3, 4 wins in a row, 3 of them by knockout. And they give him this one. And after the first round, I was like, ooh, Sayik looks pretty fucking fun, dude. He in and out.
Yeah. Quick hands.
Tagging
he had a 1-2 that was working really well for him. But
stunned him like Connor versus Nate, when Nate hits him with that 1-2 that was the beginning of the end.
And he was like, yeah. But then talk about Suakim. With the urgency, he came out in the second round, Will.
Oh, yeah. That second round. Once he started, he won this fight in the in-between, which is like, because Sayik was so in and out and hitting him with these long punches and then he's gone, Suakim was able to just, in those in-between moments of these clashes, either grab him, whip him, throw a knee to the chest, knee to the gut, knee to the head, elbows inside. Like, he was able to fight in these moments where Sayik is trying to get away. He's trying to either enter and be gone, and Suakim's just keeping him there to land these in-between shots that were super devastating, I thought. The knees that he was landing were fucking nasty. But these guys, and props to Sayik, Suakim, the second and the third round, definitely weren't the fight that he wanted it to be, especially after that first round. The fight was going much more in favor of Suakim as far as how the fight was playing out. But Sayik was there for it, man. Throughout this whole fight, he was still tagging Suakim. Suakim's face is completely swollen by the end of this fight. But these guys just beat the hell out of each other. I just think Suakim was just a bit sharper in moments like this right here. And, he just kept coming forward despite getting hit with these straight punches where most people get staggered off those. He was like, I'm just going to walk through these, land this elbow. Fucking banger, though. What a fight.
The urgency never fell off. from Suakim from the second all the way through the third. Kept the pressure on. You could see Sayik's energy starting to drop. He starts throwing a lot more spinning attacks in the third. Sayik did, and falling after the spinning attack. So it looked like almost like he was trying to kill time.
Well, not just that. It's a good point you bring that up. I forgot to bring this up. When you are throwing spinning attacks like that and you end up falling, yes, it buys time, right? But, dude, getting up off the floor when you're already tired is exhausting. Yes. And he kept falling and kept having to get back up. And, you know, it's fucking exhausting. But great fight. Both these guys, fucking awesome fight.
And the last great fight that we're going to cover, we had Ellis Barbosa versus Shamil Adukov.
Little bit of controversy in this one. I think I like Ellis Barbosa. He's a good dude. I like him. And I'm a fan of his style. I feel like this should have been a DQ, if I'm being honest.
What?
I do. And I mean that with no disrespect to Ellis. And I know I want to pull up his article too. Nick talked to him about it. But we can talk about the fight. Adukov, first round, very good weapons for the longer fighter. Ellis is just trying to walk him down, and he's stabbing at him with front kicks, knees, long punches. Hits him with the spinning back elbow while he's in the corner and drops him. And you're like, oh, fuck. That's pretty good. And I think we have... I believe we can show the video of this one.
Oh, there's that front kick that just caught Barbosa as he was walking in. Mm-hmm. Such a beautiful... well, it looked more like a push kick that just ended up landing on the chin, too.
Yeah, dude. It was nasty. And he just ate it. Shout out to Barbosa. He's tough. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull this shit up. And here we go. Here's the elbow that drops him. Bam.
Beautiful.
So sick.
The technique was almost as good as Ilia Topuria's son's. Yeah. Have you seen that video of little Ilia Topuria, dude, where he does a little... No. Oh, we got to watch it. After the podcast, we'll hop on and we'll watch it, dude. It's so good.
Okay.
He's a killer, dude. He's a killer.
Barbosa eats that, and then we can go back to the slideshow, Rich. After that, you're like, okay, Barbosa needs... I mean, in one, right, if you get knocked down, you need to either get a knockdown or you need to finish that. And so he starts entering with these elbows and just crowding him, which is beautiful work. And he ends up dropping him with a shot to the body, actually, which we can show. And then he lands this punch here while he's seated. And I think he lands the left hand. We'll watch it real quick behind this.
Olivier was pissed, by the way.
Olivier was not happy. So there's the body shot, right? Bam.
Beautiful.
Right straight to the body. Sits him down.
Oh, left.
Left hand.
Oh, no, it was just the left. It was the left. So he hits him on the gut. Look,
yes.
Boom, right there. He hits him, right? He's shelling up as he's falling. Before he actually hits the canvas, he lands the left. Boom.
Left hand there.
Right there. He was falling in the process.
Right hand.
Now he's down. Right hand. He did hit the right hand. Right hand wasn't necessary. Yes.
The right hand he did land.
Left hand, not so much. But the right hand, he was most definitely down.
Yeah, and like you said, Olivier gave him a strong talking to.
But you know what? Another thing that I like about Olivier, and some people might not like this, but the thing I love about him is that he understands where he's picking up where he left off, right? So he walks Barbosa over the corner. He's like, no.
Yeah.
You know, he hit him while he was down, blah, blah.
Don't do that shit.
He goes back over, and he picks up with that Dukov. He goes, 5.
Yeah.
6. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, he didn't
very
start
good.
at 1. He was like, hey, I was gone for at least 5 seconds. Your boy had some time.
I was counting in here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's so good.
But then Barbosa hits him with this nasty elbow right here, drops him again with a minute left. And we can see this here. Bam. Or no, here it comes. We got this in slow motion because bam, he hits him with the elbow and then bam, a nice knee to the head for good measure.
And a knee.
And Adukov's corner is like, what the fuck? And he's like, he sits down.
And Adukov's like, nah, dude, I just ate a knee to the face.
While I was down. And Olivier's yelling at Barbosa. Adukov can't get up. So they call the fight.
He goes, that was twice.
And yeah, 2 times, back to back. And after the fight, Barbosa actually goes over and he's talking to Adukov and it's showing respect. And you can see Adukov's telling him, Like the first time you punched me on the ground, and this time you hit me with a knee. Like you could see him like mouthing it and like kind of motioning it, and you're like, oh no.
Blunderbuff says point deduction at least. Look, I'm with him.
But that's the end of the fight. Oh yeah, there's the knee.
No, in the first one. The first one.
Oh, the first time. Yeah, you can see that. Let me see if I can find. If you want to talk about that really quick, because I know Nick talked to him about it. I watched the interview, and he said he's like, look, in the heat of the moment, like you're just trying to kill somebody, especially after being knocked down once. You're trying to take them out, and you just don't really have the wherewithal to know is he down or anything. You're just going until they pull you off, basically. And I understand that, so I don't want to like. I'm not trying to come down on him or anything like that, but
to what extent, though, Barboza? Because you're not the only one that fights in that ring. You're not the only one that has gone knockdowns or knockouts in that ring. But yet you're the only one last night that 2 times after knocking somebody down threw illegal shots, hit them while they were down. Not only did you get a stern warning after the first fight, but you came in with an even harder shot the second time around with a knee to the face. Right? So,
yeah, I just think, Rich put it in the chat already. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a DQ? Blunderbuff says point deduction at least. I don't know. I just feel like you can't just, there can't be no repercussions to that. Because who knows, if that knee didn't land on the second knockdown, would he get back up? Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
It's hard to say. We will never know. We will never know.
Yeah. But
oh, well.
Good fight regardless. Fun fight.
Yeah. And I believe that was it for One Fight Night 34. Those are all the fights that we're going to be covering.
Yes.
Do we have a list of bonuses for the night? I know Eersel got one, right?
Yes. I believe Eersel got a bonus. And then, yes, Takeuchi also got one.
Oh, well deserved, Takeuchi. Absolutely. Well deserved.
Dude, he's put himself in a spot now. Malakin versus Rugrug is happening in November. If Malakin wins that fight, I would imagine they're going to do a trilogy just because it's big, right? Both those guys are some of their bigger stars. But if Rugrug wins, we got Krishenko beat Bentainen on this card too. So I don't know if they maybe make these guys together to be a title eliminator in the background. Maybe if Malakin wins, you do Takeuchi versus Krishenko, which would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
If Rugrug wins, Krishenko probably gets a title shot. Takeuchi, I'm not sure. But he's in the mix, man. That's a big win for him. Real big win.
Awesome. And he got an extra $50K, baby, which is awesome. All right. So, hey, shout out. Thank you to everybody for joining us. We really appreciate the fact that y'all joined and also continued commenting throughout the entire podcast. So, greatly appreciate it. A lot of people joined. So, let me see. We had Austin, Evie under the weather, but still joining us. Blunderbub, thank you for joining us. We had official Lewis that joined us.
Arlo is king, I saw.
Yep. We had Phil. Phil joined us as well, right?
The GOAT Ganskow.
Ganskow, the champ, man. The reigning, defending champ. That's one of. I missed you. I apologize, but there's a lot of folks that joined us. So thank you once again, everybody. Makes it so fun whenever you all join us and chat it up. But yeah, reminder, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're steady climbing. We're getting there, though, Will. We're getting there. We're hitting milestone after milestone after milestone. But we really appreciate everybody showing love. Highly suggest you watch on YouTube. If you want to watch another way or listen another way, you can do that as well, right, Will?
Yeah, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, if you just want the audio. But like Ramiro said, video is better. Because like I would imagine us talking about that Barboza fight, if you're just listening and you're not getting to see the pictures or see those clips, you're like, what the fuck's going on? YouTube is where it's at. YouTube
100%.
And then social media at Story of the Fight on everything. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, everywhere.
Blue Sky.
Just
had to throw that out there. Hey, and special shout out to somebody else, Will. Special shout out to our producer in the background making this happen, Rich, the casual, Richard Busto. Shout out to our producer. And thank you, everybody, for another awesome week of Story of the Fight.